Welcome back to Fox and Friends. First, on a very busy morning, New York City's finest under growing pressure as terrorists take aim. So why is the City Council pushing legislation that would make it harder for officers to do their jobs? Joining me now to discuss is New York City Councilman Joe Borelli. So we had this terrorist attack, this wannabe suicide bomber in New York City. 6 weeks prior to that, we had the terrorist who used a van to attack people on the West Side Highway. But the City Council is planning to do what?
I mean, I think your viewers are as dismayed as I am why the City Council would choose this very moment, right after the wake of these two attacks, to pass a bill that basically constrains officers' ability and desire to be proactive, to stop people, to search them, to do the kind of things that we are hoping that police officers are doing in subway tunnels, on buses, etc.
Yeah, so we hear for people like myself and you, see something, say something, so we want to get that message out, but at the same time, when officers see something, by this, their hands are tied.
Right. So this bill basically would require an officer to get the person's consent or to get documentation that they're consenting to a search. That goes beyond the person's Fourth Amendment protections against unreasonable searches and seizures. So you could have a situation where a person feels emboldened, decides to say to the officer, I don't want to be searched, I don't need to be searched, and that in itself could cause a problem. The other side of this bill is that each person who gets searched or gets into an interaction with the police officer would get basically a business card with the officer's identifying information, their name, and be encouraged to file a complaint against the officer. You know, this is something that this is too far left for even Mayor de Blasio to put it on a scale.
I mean, I'm trying to put my head around it, and I'm trying to think of a situation. So you come across someone who you think is maybe going to do a terrorist attack on the city.
A gun crime, a shooting, a burglary, anything.
And you think that they may have something on their person or in their vehicle, but you would have to get a warrant before you can search them?
No, you would basically have to get their consent.
But they say no, and then what?
If they say no, there's certain situations when you could still do it, but it's still a problem. Look, and the other part of it is this notification of their person's identification, the cop's ID. I know cops, you know cops. They're fearless when it comes to protecting the public and their own lives. What cops are afraid of is getting jammed up, losing their jobs, losing their pension over something they thought was in the best interest of the public. That's what cops are afraid of. And instead of the City Council being a cheerleader for the police department who's out there day in and day out making sure New York City is safe, we have a bunch of people who are their detractors, who are frankly their enemies, and who want to constrain their ability to do the one thing we could all agree they should really be doing, and that's foiling major violent crimes.
Does that not really seem like something that a lawyer would have suggested? No offense to lawyers, but to give the card to the perpetrator or the person that you want to search?
Yes, this is only going to increase the number of complaints our civilian complaint board gets, which 87% of cases in 2016 were completely dismissed as based in no merit of fact. So this is just a way to really constrain what officers want to do. It's designed to make them less active, less proactive. There's 468 subway stations in New York City. It's luck when we foil a terrorist attack. The last thing we want to do is be lucky that we have a police officer on some train platform and have them hesitate for a moment because they're afraid of what might come if they ask the wrong person to search their bag.
And we have those 4 NYPD officers who did not hesitate and jumped on this suspect and avoided perhaps a second blast.
Amen.
Yeah, thank you so much, Joe, for joining us. We appreciate it.